So today we are doing a bit of mobility, so it's just 10 minutes of mobility which you can do before your workout or after your workout. Just full body, get you nice and loosey goosey and yeah, ready for your workout or a nice cool down afterwards. So what we're doing here at the moment is stretching out the neck. So you'll get one arm, put it on the side of your head, pull it down slightly and reach the other arm out. This will just kind of stretch out your neck a bit. So yeah, we're starting from the top and working our way down. Okay, so if you just give your neck a wee roll, and then we're moving on to a stretch that will target the chest. So you're going to put your hands behind your back, link your fingers, press back and down and really open up the chest. Try to not over arch your lower back, kind of just really focus all of the stretching onto your chest. Next we're going to go to another chest stretch. So you're going to go onto your knees, reach one arm out on the right and your left arm is there to just keep you stable. And you're kind of pressing into the ground a bit and turning your torso away from the arm that's outstretched. You should feel a nice contraction right in your pec muscle, in your chest. Now you're going to do the other side, so on the left, so reaching the left arm out and then using your right hand to stabilise yourself and then turning your torso towards your right. Okay, now we're going to move on to a bit of a back stretch. So this is a child's pose. Basically going to sit back on your with your bum to your heels, stretch out your arms in front of you and kind of really stretch out your shoulders, stretch out your lat muscles, which are the muscles that run down your back. And yeah, kind of relieve a bit of pressure on your lower back. Next we're going to do a similar one, except we're more upright. So there's more of a 90-degree angle at the thigh and calf. And then we're going to go into upward facing dog. So stretch, we bounce in there and then into upward facing dog again. We're just going to do this a few times. Just really stretch out that lower back. This is really great if you're having kind of a sore low back or yeah, just feeling a bit tight, so it can help loosen you up. Next we're going to go into the cat-cow. So basically we're going into full spinal flexion and then full spinal extension. So you're on all fours, and you're tilting your pelvis in here and tilting your pelvis out there and looking up to the sky. So again, tucking your chin, tucking your pelvis and turning your pelvis out and looking up. Next we're going to go into a frog position. So basically you'll spread your knees, bounce kind of into the position, you'll feel a stretch from your groin and then lean forward. So we bounce and then a lean forward. I'm just going to do a few reps of these. Just really opening up the hips here. It's really good to do it on a leg day, so squat day, deadlifts, that kind of thing. Okay, now we're going to move into some hip swivels. So again, opening up the hips. This is for internal and external rotation. So where the leg kind of meets the hip joint, we're just turning the bone in the socket a wee bit here. Just open it up. So yeah, when you're sat in this position, you're going to let your knees drop to each side. You should be at about 90 degrees. It's just a nice dynamic warm up. I do this pretty much every time I go to the gym just because it feels good, it feels like you're loosening everything up. And then we're going to stop on one side, so you want a 90 degree on each leg. This is the 90-90 position, and then you're just going to lean over that front leg. So you'll feel a contraction in your, or a stretch in your glute on the front leg, and maybe into your hamstring, maybe a wee bit into your lower back. You're just going to try and keep a straight back, try not to kind of round over it. Then swap to the other side. So a 90-90 position again. And then leaning over that knee. So you can put your other hand onto your foot and then the other one on the ground on the other side of your leg. Just holding this for about 30 seconds. So I'm trying to keep a nice straight back at all times, not rounding over it. Now we're doing a glute stretch, so what you're going to do is lie on your back, put one foot out of the midline of the body slightly, the other foot on your thigh, and then you're going to pull your knee towards the opposite shoulder. So in this, I'm pulling my left knee towards my right shoulder, and you get a big stretch in your left glute. This one feels really good, so you can do it for a bit longer if you want, if it's particularly tight. It might be tighter on one side than the other, so this is us just changing sides. So foot on the knee and then pulling it towards the opposite shoulder. So yeah, this will really help out to stretch out the glutes. And yeah. So just a few more seconds. Okay. Now we're going to go into a lunge position. So right foot forward, left foot back. Basically, you're going to let that right foot, that right knee fall out to the right, and then you're bending down as far as you can whilst trying to keep as straight back as possible. So again, this will really open up the hips. The lower you can get, the better. So yeah, this is really good for squat mobility. And then we're going into a hamstring stretch. So you're going to go forward and back, stretch that hamstring by leaning forward and back. Then we're going to switch sides. Just going to let that left knee fall outwards, then bend down as far as possible to get a nice stretch on the inside of the groin on the left this time. You might feel it in your hip flexor on the rear leg as well. So the hip flexor is the muscle that kind of runs down across your hip. So yeah, getting a nice stretch in the hamstrings, just doing a few reps of this, kind of bouncing in and out of it. Open up the groin, open up the hamstrings, and then we're going to go into another hamstring stretch. So if you stand up, and you're just going to hinge at the hips, so push the hips back and let your torso fall down and forward as far as your hamstrings will permit. And you're just going to do a few reps of this, and then to finish off we're going to go into a squat type position. We're going to stretch one leg out and just move from one side to the other, using your hands to stabilize you. So I nearly fall here. But yeah, that is just about it, so hopefully you enjoyed.